DJ was an awesome kid. He was a senior that had a plan. He got through high school just like everybody else, one foot in front of the other, but he grew so much as a person through high school. He crushed everything that he wanted to do. He had goals and he achieved them.
DJ was a close friend, kind of like family. He was one of those few people I talked to on an everyday basis. He was a very genuine person. He cared a lot about his friends and his family. He never singled anyone out or really made fun of anyone. He was just always a fun person to be around.
DJ was a nice, kind, gentle student. Like I said, I've known him for the entire 4 years that I've been the school resource officer at Bluffton High School, and I've always looked at him as just a good, positive kid.
DJ was fun-loving. You know, everybody loved DJ. He was friends with everybody. Even if you just had him in a class or if you're on the field with him, you know, he loved everybody.
I just remember him running around, always with a smile on his face, and that never changed as he got older.
He was the type of person to make sure you're okay, make sure you got everything you need, give you the shirt off his back if needed. Just basically caring, funny, gives you the laugh of the day.
DJ was a funny person. He was someone who can make people laugh in a classroom. He would say the randomest stuff and he'd be dying of laughter.
I saw him in the halls a couple times and he always had a smile on his face. I mean, he was always making people laugh, no matter who he was with. His whole crowd, whoever he was with, he was just cracking jokes and making people smile.
He loved everybody, got along with everybody, was there to help everybody, always had a smile on his face, and would always come in. We'd talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, we'd talk about football, basketball, weightlifting, everything. He was like every student's friend.
DJ was one of the most genuine people I've ever met. He always cared about everybody. He didn't discriminate against anybody, and you know, he worked hard in everything that he did. When he set his mind to something, you know, he accomplished it, and you know, everybody was always so proud of him because he just always pushed himself as hard as he can, and he loved everybody. He cared about everybody and everything that he did and everything that anyone ever did. Like any of his friends, he cared about what they were doing in life and just how they were doing. He was always checking up on people.
DJ was not only a student at the school, but he was one of my good friends. He was someone who was genuine to not only his peers, but just to anybody. You could just be walking around and he'd be genuine and just a really nice person to you, and you could always rely on him to make you smile.
DJ was a very kind and genuine person, and he really cared about supporting other people, and his heart was just so big with everything that he did.
Oh shoot, there's a lot that we can take away from this incident. I think the biggest thing is hold on to the ones that you love. Don't forget to remind them that you love them.
To just love everybody around us more, and just don't take anybody for granted, because you never know when they're going to leave you.
That life is precious, that tomorrow isn't promised to nobody, that we just have to enjoy people while they're here and not try to, you know, sweat over small insignificant things, because nobody knows the day or the time or the hour that they won't be here with us anymore.
I think the biggest thing he would want is for us to start going in that direction. Everyone at the school care about everybody, be there to support everybody, and then bring the schools together and make them strong, then bring the city together and make them strong, then branch out to make the district strong, and keep on spreading the word of trying to treat everybody with love and do everything the right way.
I think taking from this incident, you can just learn that, like, not everything is what you seem. You should always be, like, aware of your surroundings and just be aware that just, like, things like this happen, and it's just important to grow from it, especially as a community. We were able to come together, but this shouldn't happen for our community to come together. This shouldn't be a tragic incident for this to happen and for us to just come together as a school. It's just something that is just really tragic and that we can learn from, because something like this shouldn't be happening again.
You gotta be aware of your surroundings. Make sure you know what you're doing before an incident happens like that.
This was horrible. This really goes back to what I've always said about what makes a town, why our citizens need to stay together and need to unite. You feel the pain of a town. I said earlier when many of the press conferences, when one person in Bluffton hurts, we all hurt. But the other side, when one person is excited, we all want to celebrate. This has really been a deep, it's hit all of us very hard.
Everybody's gonna have someone leave them. and just take it as memories. Don't remember the bad things, always remember the good things, because as you go through life, you're gonna be like, wow, I really miss that. And the good memories bring back really good times.
Kids around here, they just want to act so hard, and they want to grow up so fast, and they want to make points, but that point always ends up with someone losing: a child, a friend, a family member, a student, a coworker, and it's just unnecessary.
I think the outpouring of love and support that we've received, not only from the Bluffton community, but from the surrounding communities such as Hilton Head and Beaufort, you know, it shows that a life taken so young is not acceptable, and that everybody loves one another. And just like Coach Hop said, you know, just make sure everybody knows that you love them.
We really just wanted to have this fundraiser to help support the families of DJ, EJ, and Kylan.
We decided to honor them each with like something that they each like to wear. Like DJ liked Crocs, EJ liked sweatpants, and Kylan liked jeans. So we wanted to like honor them, so we decided each day we were going to do something for them.
We were really excited to do it because even though there's been some fundraisers going around on GoFundMe and just around the community, we wanted to make it more accessible for students here because everyone in the school has really wanted to help, and even some of the other schools have wanted to help.
Physically here at the high school last week we made over 1,200 ribbons so the students could wear them on Friday along with the faculty and the staff.
Being a Bobcat mom and a former Bobcat teacher just as recent as February, it has been pretty overwhelming. The Seahawks have embraced me as a teacher, and then when this tragedy happened, they were absolutely amazing with their support, knowing that my son was a classmate at DJ's and knowing that I was very close to DJ myself. We have done a few fundraisers.
Our athletes wanted to show their support, so at DJ's Memorial we donated a helmet that we went ahead and it said 2 teams, 1 heart. It's truly what we believe, and it was just amazing to see how much our students were willing to give. They want to support all of the families and to really come together.
At Bluffton Middle School, you know, this is a unique situation where this rocked Bluffton High's world, but it also impacted us here at Bluffton Middle with Coach Fields being in our building as an employee. And so we just tried to do everything that we possibly could to show Bluffton High that we know what you're going through. We know that you're reeling right now. But at the same time, making sure that our own employee felt the love and the care that we have for him. So just some of the activities, you know, we've had a number of kids during their morning advisory activities. They've been creating cards and posting them all over Coach Fields' office. They've been sending out personal messages to Coach Fields.
Advisory classes, which are when we come in the mornings and meet with our students, the 6th grade classes have gone out to our fences and they did the styrofoam cup idea where they wrote BLMS loves BLHS. All week students have been wearing green. Today they have on sweatpants as well and Crocs because DJ loved them, and supporting EJ and Kylan as well, sweatpants and jeans. And then today was also a day when students were able to bring in cash donations, and it was an incredible response to the, like when I asked my students to come up if they had any money, and almost my entire class stood up. So it's been great to see students who didn't even know him but know Coach Fields or may not have known Coach Fields so well get up and contribute towards helping build them back up.
So Bluffton Elementary decided to show support to Bluffton High by having our students have a Bobcat Day. The Bobcat Day was meant for them to wear Bluffton High's colors to show support for the things that have been going on in our community and happening at the Bluffton High School at the moment. So part of that is our school was also where DJ and EJ have attended. So they are graduates here, and once a Wildcat, you're always a Wildcat. Well, it's important to show that support, especially for our community, that we are all one. So we support each other, we look out for each other. While we may be rivals when other things happen with sports teams and other stuff, when it comes down to it, we're all one big community, whether you're looking at Bluffton or Hilton Head, and elementary versus middle high, all of that, we are all together. The families are all impacted all the way around. We have siblings here that are related to DJ and EJ. Those siblings, while they're in elementary school, they'll go on to the middle school and the high school. So we need it to be seen as one big happy family.
It's about showing everybody that you can't break us, you can't get between us. We're all in this for the same reasons, which are our students, our kids. Every teacher anywhere in the world is in this, and they're about students. And so when a tragic situation like this ever happens, it's all about rallying together as a community and making sure that you're supporting those who are reeling, those who are feeling the pain. And when it touches you as close as it does, like Bluffton Middle and Bluffton High School, it's even more important that you let that school community know that we feel your pain too, and we're here every step of the way to just show the support that you all need.
So we're rivals on the team, rivals on the courts and on the fields. But when something like this happens, we realize that this touches everybody. These are our children. This is Beaufort County. It's not just a Bluffton kid, a Bluffton family that was affected. We're all connected in some way, and we can all try to put ourselves in that position and try to have some compassion on what that family must feel like and what the students in other schools might feel like. And so we're truly we're one big community.
The impact's really been twofold. We have a lot of DJ and EJ's relatives here, cousins, siblings. It's been hard for them, but the teachers have really wrapped their arms around them and reached out to the families, and that's been a wonderful thing.
Oh, it's been rough. I had DJ, so when you first get that, the text, you can't believe it's true, and it's hard because as a teacher, and it's the same thing as a parent, we're not supposed to bury kids. I'm not supposed to go to a funeral for one of my students. They're supposed to bury me, So that impact, it's another reminder of how short life is, and I think they did a great job, Coach Hobb especially, talking about just tell people that you love them, and I think it's just a reminder for us as teachers to those kids, we may be the only smiling face they get to see, so just let them know that you're there and that if they need anything, you're going to be there for them.
The impact on the students here, they were wonderful. They just knew that I was hurting. They knew how horrible that must be for the family and how horrible it must be for his classmates, and they were just very supportive. When we decided to do the t-shirts for DJ as a memorial, the kids here even were just like, please, can I order one, can I order one? So it's just been all around just great support.
I think my favorite memory with DJ, we talked about everything from life to college and future related things, but I think my favorite memory is when he sat right here, right next to where you're at right now, and we just sat down and filled out college applications. We got to talk throughout that whole process, and we talked about personal things, and we talked about life, and we talked about what I did and what he wanted to do, and everything, just a great conversation. We sat there and we filled out TCL, and he wanted to be a welder. And so we went through all the different schools that had it. We talked about the pros and the cons of everything, and it was just a really, really great time together.
We used to manage the basketball team together, so we would do film together, and we'd ride on the bus together, and we'd just always be cracking jokes together because that's just who DJ was.
A memory that I have was our senior night was actually last Thursday for the women's lacrosse team, and him, John, Robert Mitchell, and a couple other guys were trying to get in to come watch our game. Since the boys didn't pay, Todd wouldn't let them in, so they lied to him and said that they had to drop something off, and he was like, okay. But then they all just tried to stay and watch the game. They were on the field, and our coach was yelling at them from the press box to get off the field. And it's just funny because he actually genuinely wanted to come to our game to watch, and nobody does that for us. So That's just the last memory that I actually have of him.
Some of the fondest memories that I have of him is the fact that I've always been a Dallas Cowboys fan and he's an Eagles fan. So anytime that he would come to school and he would have on some Eagles gear, I would always give him some flack, telling him, you know, that's a policy violation, or he has to leave school today because he's got on his Eagles gear. So we would just have friendly banter going back and forth between the Eagles and the Cowboys.
I remember always being in the hallway and he would be like, get to class, or why are you out of class? Just something to be funny.
I remember one time in middle school, we took our friend's golf cart and we did donuts in the mud with it. That was pretty fun.
DJ was on the football field with his dad when my son played for Bluffton High School. So I've watched that child grow and been very involved in that football team to see what an amazing gentleman he became. And listening to y'all talk about him, wow, could we have a friend like that?
And I remember going into Kilwin's one day with my mom, and it's the only place that has chocolate chip ice cream around. You can't even buy it in the stores. And I wanted a single scoop of chocolate chip, and DJ said, if it's your favorite, Miss Holman, you gotta get at least 2. And he scooped me 2, but only charged me for 1. Don't tell the owners.
Every day before baseball practice, he'd come in our locker room and he'd joke around saying he was gonna play. And he'd just like dress up, put on our uniforms and hats and make jokes and stuff. And always bring a smile to our team.
One time in football practice, you know, we would get done with practice and we'd have to run sprints, and you know, he really brought us together as a team because he would be, you know, one of the last guys running out there, and the whole team would gather around him and we would push him, and we'd keep going until every single person was done. And he would do the same for us. If he'd finished before someone else, he'd go back out there and run an extra sprint just to push the other guy. And I think that's a great example of who DJ really was.
He was trying to get his max out on his deadlift, and he got 365 the day we did it. He wasn't happy with it, wasn't satisfied, so he went and kept practicing. We worked on his technique, and he went in 2 days later after school with 2 other guys to help him out with it for spotting and safety, and he went and got 405 and was so happy. And he came running into me to show me his video of him getting 405, and you know, that's one of the biggest things because that's who he was. He wasn't going to settle for just being an average at something. He was going to be the best at what he did. And
I've never told anyone this, but he had asked me to retwist his hair, and we had made plans to do that, and then that was just the last time I talked to him.
He was checking on another student for me and just making sure that he was okay. And he was telling me that everything was, you know, going well, classes were going great, and his last words to me were, I miss you and I love you, Mrs. E. And so obviously that's my last time communicating with him, and that's really special to me.
I just wanted to have something for the kids that they could use in memory of DJ. So essentially it's just DJ's football picture, and then it has long live DJ on it. But I've hand drawn everything, so it's kind of like cartoony, not his actual picture. And I am selling them for $2 a piece. And all that money will go to the Dwan Fields Jr. Memorial Fund. So everything that we make off of these stickers is going to go directly back to his family to help pay for any expenses that they've had. I figured if I'm going to spend time making it, then I might as well do something that his family can benefit from. They're for sale now. So I emailed out a link. So that link will take you to the school's website, and then you can purchase through there or you can purchase through me. And the sale goes through April 12th.
But the real impact that we have is the legacy that DJ left behind. Everyone who knew him when he was here in 5th and 6th grade knew him as a kind-hearted guy who would reach out and be friends to anyone, who would go out of his way to do kind things, to help out. He was someone you could always count on to be there and support the teachers and the other kids. And the legacy he leaves behind is one that we're trying to help our kids understand.
The legacy that DJ left behind is for everybody to love each other. I think that's the legacy he'll leave behind. That care about each other, care for one another, and love each other unconditionally.
I think the legacy that DJ left was just to be kinder to everybody. He was someone who was always kind, genuine, and just funny all around. So I feel like because of him, that just gives everybody the courage to be nicer to everybody and just be genuine.
I think the biggest legacy is that smile that he had. I think he brought positivity to this building, and he brought a light. It's easy to say people bring light to rooms, and people say that about a lot of different people, but he really truly did bring light to a lot of different situations. I think kids can learn goals from him. I think kids can learn drive from him. And he's going to be remembered in this community for a lot of really great things.
EJ and Kylan, it's not long ago you guys were in this building. We're thinking about you.
I just want them to know that they are strong. We know it, we knew it before, we know it now. So they just need to stay strong, and they know that everybody here loves them and we're all supporting them.
You just have to hug them. No one can say, I know how you feel. Stick together, talk it out, use the resources that the school is providing all of y'all, but especially EJ and Kylan.
Keep fighting. Y'all are some strong people, and I wish I had the courage and gut that y'all have, because y'all are some amazing people, and you guys got this, and I believe in you.
We just need Kylan and EJ. Number one, we need EJ to just keep fighting. Keep fighting, and Kylan, it's going to be difficult, and you're going to have days where you want to break, but never give in.
But thankfully, they're still here with us, that they can just keep their heads up knowing that they have a lot of people that are behind them, a lot of people that love them, and a lot of people that support them, and we're praying that they can bounce back strong.
Keep pushing. I know it's a hard time right now. The last thing you need to do is stress. So, encourage yourself, encourage others.
Just be strong. You're having to grow up really fast. And just be the role model for all the other youth that are out there, no matter how old they are, that encourage them that they are meaningful. Everyone's meaningful, and go out and love everybody as much as you can.
We got them. We got you guys. No matter what you need, no matter where you need it or when, we got you. You're in our hearts, you're in our prayers, and we love you.
We love them. We're not embarrassed to use that word with our students. We love all of them. We love DJ. DJ will forever be in our hearts. Coach Fields, we love you. EJ and Kylan, the love is there for you and their families. So it's nothing but love for Bluffton High, from Bluffton Middle, and to all the families that are reeling at this time.
He left a legacy that really just shows everyone that it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. You should always reach a hand out and help or be friends with somebody. It goes a long way.
I just want Bluffton to be strong, be there, handle it with as much happiness as you can, because that's what's going to get you through this. That's what DJ would have wanted, is for people to be remembering all the good times that they all had together, and be successful. He wanted everyone to be successful at whatever it is they wanted to do, and I think go and live your life the right way, doing things for everybody else, and accomplish your dream.